Let's go with Von Carstein, okay? Von Carstein, I know. Von Carstein. Oh, apologize, you're there. Let's see you. Let's see. You've been judging your little comrades of the referees, the groups I referee. Let's see what you do. How much rule breaks have you done? Okay, let's look at that. No clear rule break. Oh, no caster though. That's okay. That's not a rule break, but that's a mistake. Yeah, well, I understand Alercom, but I clearly told them if there are rules you're like not understanding, like talk about, you can ask me about anything. That was like the first thing I said when I created the groups. I'm like referring, so you know. But yeah, sure, I understand. No problem. So, okay, as a rule, I apologize. As a big rule, you have magic available in this game. Even if you're not quite sure how to use it, sometimes you don't use it on the right units, like that bit of shade or whatever. It's always better to have magic. However, don't bring all the spells. Like, pick 2 spells. If you don't know which ones are the best, pick 2 spells at random, okay? If you don't know what to do. But pick 2 spells on a caster that you think will serve your purpose and use them as much as you can until your caster is dead, and you'll get so much more value than whatever unit you're replacing your caster with. Okay, so let's go over your army. This is a pretty medium-sized map, but very flat, so artillery is not a bad choice here. So what do we have? Mortars, and Hellstorm Rocket Battery. Okay, so a lot of anti-infantry damage. Again, it makes sense against... it made sense against them, but the thing is, you might run into the issue that mortars, they're usually used more against range units than against melee infantry, in most cases. Or then they can be used against like elite melee infantry, because most of the damage your mortars will do is between that point and the point they enter melee with you, because you don't want to shoot on yourself. So if mortars shoot on orc boys, for example, they probably won't do enough damage to pay for themselves by the time the enemy reach. While if they were shooting at archers, for example, where the archers will stay further away, not with your troops on them, so you can keep shooting at them. That's why mortars, is armor if you want to face range heavy factions, basically. Then you have the Hellstorm Rocket Battery. Well, if you want to go Hellstorm, I'd advise you to go for the War unit. Why? Well, the War unit costs a lot more, but they actually shoot so much faster. So, like, this one has 22 ammunition, it will use pretty much half of it by the time the battle is finished, where the other will have used almost all of its ammunition by the time the enemy reached your line. And you could have, like, so one Hellstorm Rocket Battery, why not? Against greenskins, you could go cannons if you want to, or maybe... if you don't want to go cannons, you could go not Hellstorm Rocket Battery, but Hellblaster Volleygun that have shorter range but do a lot of damage output. These are better artillery choice against greenskins most of the time. I mean, there must be counterexample and builds where they are like very important, but most of the time I'd say it's a good rule to think of it like that. 2 units of Huntsman, nothing to say, pretty solid. Halberdiers, yep, Halberdiers, they have charge difference versus large or versus all? Just versus large, okay. And some Spearmen on the flank. I would actually switch things and put... You might want your Halberdiers as the second line because they cost more, so you won't want them to take the charge of the infantry in the face at first. If possible, you want them to keep them a bit behind, so maybe 3 units of Spearmen and like your Halberdiers on the side, something like that. Then you have 1 unit of Handgunners, yeah, they will retreat to the line, no problem with that. 2 units of Outrider Grenade Launcher, so you have a lot of anti-infantry. And I understand, like, greenskin infantry is scary, but that's a lot of anti-infantry in your army. And finally, Warrior Priest, that doesn't replace a caster, but at least he has some nice abilities. You can bring both. Shield of Faith, Soulfire, and Hammer of Sigma, with the fire-giving ability, which can be useful against trolls for sure. And Boris Stonebringer on his Griffon with everything. He has everything, so he's kitted. And for Boris, it's not bad to kit him completely. Now, for Von Carstein, you have some Forest Goblin Wolf Riders, Forest Goblin Spider Riders, so a small skirmishing corps to go after your skirmishing corps, obviously. Front line of goblins, and the our goblins that have fanatics and are unbreakable. 2 units of regular orc boys, they are followed by 2 units of stone troll to push through your line and kill cavalry. 1, 2, 3 units of orc boar boys, they can trade okay against Empire cav if they get the charge. And you have Bob with just his ITP aura, Night Goblin Shaman with Vindictive Glare, and Mork will fix it, so they're slow. And Azak the Sorcerer with just Spirit Leech. Oh, and Life Leeching, interesting. You don't see Life Leeching that often. Is this even one of the maps? I'll look it up. I don't think that's very important, honestly, if both of them agree on it. But yeah, I'll check it. So yeah, I mean, the Hellblaster, the Volley Gun, and the mortars doing work. But yeah, again, at the end of the day, yeah, these 3 artillery pieces, they're meant to shoot at infantry. Let's say they kill the entire enemy infantry. You still paid more than your opponent for that, and you have a lot of range to protect with not that much. So maybe like having some Empire Knights at least to bring some mass and protect on the sides. Things like that could be improved. Oh, okay, Von Carstein. It's not a big deal, honestly. But yeah, your infantry is taking a beating right now, because there is a lot to shoot at them. The handgunners are probably gonna open fire on the stone trolls. And some for the... No, the huntsman going after... Oh! Well, Von Carstein, what kind of micro is that? What? Yeah! Yeah! Not proud of you there, clansmate. Nice. Okay, so this is nice, going through the defensive light, and very nice fanatic cast, killing the outriders with granite launchers. And yeah, I mean, you need a reaction right now to avoid just like completely losing your backline. Vindictive Glare going after Boris, but mostly missing him. And I mean, Von Carstein is probably busy migrating somewhere else, because he's not really using most of his AP loonies, yeah. Here, the Halberdiers were embraced, so a good charge in the face will still hurt them. And I mean, Bob plus Trolls, even with the support of a Warrior Priest, this Spearman couldn't hold. And yeah, this is the handgunners are still shooting, they will do some damage, but the problem is the front line, I mean, the box of the Empire is threatening to crack on all sides. These Halberdiers are on the verge of breaking. Here it finally broke, and there is a second line of 1 Halberdier that's gonna try to stop them, but the mortars are getting compromised on that side. Here Azag needs to be careful, because Boris will give him the business. Boris is a better duel, especially with his regeneration, than Azag. Better duelist. And yeah, now, I mean, this is just greenskins everywhere. The huntsmen are fleeing. The handgunners have been able to stay okay until now. Are they in skirmish mode again? No. Wait, are they? No, they were just... I'm confused to what the... Apologize, are they? I'm not sure. And now Boris is getting surrounded. I mean, he needs to do something, and yeah. You might sometimes want to try to go after like units that are a bit isolated to try to terrorize them, maybe, but I think this is gonna be very tough. You can also not engage right now because you still have multi-entity models. Try to save, but maybe your handgunners, there is so much mobility, and you have no melee cav to support really. Like your outriders, I mean, they can stop the charge, but they will die. They can't dish back any damage in melee, so can't protect your handgunners now. And I don't think the Empire has any chance to survive this one. Yeah, we have Discords. Each group I moderate or I'm the referee of has a specific Discord channel in the WWC server. And now it's like cleanup duty for the green skin. Great job, Van Carstein. Loading personality. Okay, we're gonna watch the second one now. Okay, so this time it's Van Carstein with the Empire. So Van Carstein didn't use his vampire counts at all in these two matches. And let's see what we have for Apologize. Well, again, it's gonna be tough to defend that much range, but with Noctilus summons, you could do it. And this time you have a caster, so it's already better. Okay, so let's go over Van Carstein's build. You have 1, 2, 3 units of Huntsman. They are good against Mongols. They are good against enemy artillery once they get in range, and against the enemy range because they outrange anything that I mean, besides deck gunners and cannons or mortars like artillery. Handguns are outranged by Huntsman, so they are good against crabs. They can do a good job, basically, in that matchup in general. Silver Bullets, Stalk, and 150 range, which is a tiny bit more, and also incredible damage output for these handgunners. The magic damage isn't that relevant most of the time against Vampire Coast, but it could be against certain units. I can't think of one, but there must be... I mean, of course, yeah, it can be very useful against Sirens, for example, or I lost Tridalophon. So yeah, there is definitely very good opportunities for those guys. So you have a front line of Spearmen with shield, you have some Swordmen, the Sigmar Sons, definitely always a staple in most matchups. 2 Knights of the Blazing Suns, great fire damage is useful, magic resist is good, and they have, I mean, they are one of the best shots, maybe one of the best shots, not one of the best shot I have of the game, but at least very solid. Bright Wizard, always, fire magic, always good against Undead Faction with Burning Head and Fireball and the Stone of Power. Empire Captain, naked, nothing on him, and Volky Boy with the Banishment, all his buffs, and the regenerating item. So, solid army, nothing really to say. Besides, it's solid, it's good, and it's balanced, okay? There are some builds that could be a lot more kite focused or range focused, for example, for Vampire. This is balanced, there is a bit of everything, and it should be able to endure most type of Vampire Coast builds. Now, what else do we have? What do we have for the Vampire Coast? You have 2 units of Zombie Pirate Deccan Mob, a Zombie Pirate Deccan Horde Polearm, 2 units of Scurvy Dogs, 2 Depth Guard Polearm. Oh, I mean, I have Raptor. Are you looking? Is Depth Guard another commitment against? Probably. You risk them getting shot at. You risk them getting like overwhelmed. They are way better since the last patch. Like, honestly, with the mass changes, especially the Awa version, they are good. Honestly, I wouldn't bring them against Empire. One of them against Empire might not be the worst choice in your life. Raptor is a big fan of that. Raptor, are you looking at that? 2 of them. You should be so happy. So 2 Carronades. So here you could bring mortars, for example. Carronades are good too, because of like Knights of the Blazing Sun, for example, or Volky Boy. But like mortars against Huntsman or against the Silver Bullets, once all these units stop stalking, obviously, could be a decent choice because you don't have that many options to catch them besides like Scurvy Dogs. But So that you have 2 units of handguns and 1 unit of sirens. Sirens can be very good. They just need to be careful to avoid Volkmar and the silver bullets and burning head. So quite a lot to avoid. And I think you have 2 units of scurvy dogs that are gonna try to jump on the enemy range as soon as these ones reveal themselves. And now the cannons are shooting at Volkmar. I probably go after the cave actually, especially since you can get some decent side shots there. I'd probably go after the cave because you don't have a lot of mass. So yes, you have your depth guard that can like kill them if the enemy cave stay in place, but you don't have much to force them to stay in place. So they can be a terror in your backline. That's why Carstein on Knights of the Blazing Sun could be good because yes, you do damage on Volkmar, but he will shield of face, but he will regenerate with it, except if you completely kill him. And a lot of the game is not about can you do enough damage, it's can you do enough damage at the right time. And yeah, you could kill Batman. I don't know why I wanted to call him Batman, but you can kill Volkmar in endgame. Bright Wizard getting some shot at, he won't get any heal. Like the Bright Wizard shooting at him if you can is always a good choice, because handguns are somewhat hard to kite, but as you can see, Von Carstein can still do it, but yeah, low HP pull for that one. You can also stop him completely from daring to overcast if you bring their HP low enough. And now the Huntsmen are gonna open fire on the gunnery mob, and yeah, they are retrenched them, so except if one of the hounds is dead. Except if the hounds manage to get there, but like 1 unit of hounds will have a lot of problems to actually kill 3 units of huntsmen are not that bad in melee, so they will lose, but 2 of them could beat scurvy dogs. And yeah, it's gonna be tough to get to that backline, and incredible banishment. That banishment, it's over for these sirens already, and this is looking tough. This is looking real tough for our friends. What happens to sirens? Well, they got banished instantly. They entered combat, beam, banishment in the face, no more sirens. Now okay, so the Depth Guard is gonna try. Also, Depth Guard has like low HP pool, so like once they are engaged against something else, if you charge them in the back, they don't have they will lose model. And yeah, they don't regenerate models, so that's a problem. And yeah, I mean, gunnery mob getting shot at. A Bright Wizard now can like stand there because there is nothing really to threaten him, and it's gonna be a burning head. Should be able to finish most of the front line. Yeah, most of the front. Nice Raystorm, but Fleet Captain of Deep is dead to the Vampire Captain, and yeah. I honestly, at this point, I don't think it's possible to kill Volkmar. Yeah, this matchup is hard for Coast. Oh, a bit of shade, cute. Noctilus has... Oh god, Noctilus has a blood. Oh my god, that's why your army was so small. How many spells did you have on your Fleet Captor of Deep? I hope you don't have all your spells. Oh god, that must be so expensive. Okay. Well, that explains things. Curious to focus. Yeah, I think it was because it was Carstein and it wasn't seen as a big threat. But you could ask. Why they chose that. There you go.